Hello and welcome to your holiday weekend Long Island weather video. But first, before we get to the weekend, we're gonna talk about what happened today. You can see the deal. We had hazy sunshine, and it was kind of hot, and then these storms kind of came through. And unfortunately, they split the line, and they didn't hit where I was at. But if you were toward the North Shore and Suffolk County, central Suffolk, you did get a thunderstorm today. You can see here on the satellite. The storms flaring up there, and you can also see a little bit of that wildfire smoke. We had some of it creating some haze today, and it looks like there's some thicker stuff off to the west, and I'm wondering if we're going to get into that tomorrow. We'll go over all of that, but first I just want to go over what the sky looked like today because, again, we had that hazy sunshine. This was one of the first cumulonimbus clouds that we started seeing popping up off to the north. We had that hazy sunshine today, and you can see this is what it looked like here, just a hazy looking sky, and it was hot too, and it was 90, and we'll go over the highs, but it was pretty hot, and then we did have some more thunderstorms coming in later, this storm actually, let's see if we can find it. Yeah, no, that's not it. It was this one right here missed us to the north. You can see a beautiful rainbow. I have video of it to show you that. A beautiful rainbow. That storm missed us to the north. I did hear some rumbling. Let's see. I think where is it? Darn it. Yeah, maybe I got to advance this. Yeah, this was the storm that went to our north. You could see big cumulonimbus cloud up there. Went to the north. There was some rumbling, but we didn't really we just got a couple of drops, so a little bit of light rain, and that was it. This was the first storm that hit, and then the second one that went over went off the South Shore, off the beaches. That one, there was another training line again. You can see the advancing cirrus from that, quite beautiful, and. You could see some threatening-looking skies. I have some videos of some of this stuff here. We had a really beautiful rainbow. We were dealing with on and off light rain and sprinkles for much of the evening on the South Shore, and from Rockville Center, we had a beautiful rainbow there. Another rainbow. Another look at that rainbow there. Look at that, beautiful, and just interesting skies as the sun was going down, because you had the sunshine to the north, but then to the south, we still had these storms and created rather dramatic skies as the sun was setting. Very red sky. Red sky at night is sailor's delight, though, usually. But sure enough, the storms kept going to the night. I was really lucky to get this photo. I was at Rockville Center, not Roosevelt Field, transferring buses, and I was able to catch some lightning off to the south, and here you go. Let's see if we can make this a little bit larger here. Yeah, some lightning. There you go. Look at that. Look at that shot right over Hofstra. That's Hofstra right here. Look at that. That's. I think that's my favorite photo of the day right there. It's finally got a good. It was one cloud to ground strike, and then another one that kind of went through the clouds there. Oh man, this is what I love. So finally got that. I had to wait for it to get dark, and we got to see some of Mother Nature's fireworks, although the fireworks today most of the shows were postponed because of the weather, obviously. So let's take a look at what these storms look like on radar. Well, let's go to the radar here. So these were the storms that I was looking at to the south. These things were pretty, and you can see that it looks like they're still affecting Jersey. No severe warnings out. I think the severe watch, I think it has been expired, the severe thunderstorm watch. But let's see if we have any local storm reports from the storms that did hit today. All right, we do have a local storm report. Let's see what we got here. Hail report from Staten Island. Quarter-sized hail. That must have been from the cell that was over New York Harbor. One gust of 40 miles an hour in Fisher's Island. Let's see. Westchester has some trees down, and a 54-mile-an-hour wind gust at Atlantic Beach. Wow, that was with that at 8:19. That was reported. Actually, no, that happened at 7:40 p.m. And, yeah, we have trees down on roadways in Connecticut. 56-mile-an-hour wind gust in Brantford, Connecticut. And Fanwood in New Jersey. Union County also had some issues here with trees down. So there was a decent amount of storm damage. A 60-mile-an-hour wind gust in Calverton. Wow. Well, that probably explains why we're seeing some power outage. That happened at what time? 7:10 p.m.? So that probably explains why we're seeing some power outages out east. There's some in Ronkonkoma. We have 983 customers without power on Long Island right now. Most of these outages seem to be in eastern Nassau and central Suffolk County. And the East End, yeah, we have a couple out here too. So these storms look like they did pack a punch when they went over the Suffolk County. So let's go look at the radar. We'll rewind the radar. I'll show you what happened today. A lot happened today. It was active, just not where I was. I just missed it all. So as we got toward 5 o'clock, you could see this line approaching. And then what ended up happening, it was starting to fizzle, and then a cell popped right over here, right over, almost pretty much right over Mineola, a little bit south of Mineola in Garden City. And then that started becoming that kind of collapsed a little bit there. But that was the first storm. Then we had the second storm here, which I think did have a warning out briefly for it over here. And the strong winds were the main issue with these storms. But you can see these cells here off the south shore here. So we were kind of getting into some of that rain. And you can see here, there was, another cell popped over here around 8 o'clock over Suffolk County. And you can see that this is the line that is now moving through New Jersey slowly. So, yeah, very interesting. Interesting to say the least. Today turned out to be a very active day, for sure, across the area. So let's go to our weather and hazards map, look at our current temperatures, and take a look at Islip, for instance. Islip had a wind gust of 46 miles an hour today. Got up to 90 today. Yeah, it was a lot hotter than I was expecting today. It turned out to be pretty hot, actually. The dew points were not as high. Dew points were in the mid-60s, but yeah, it was hot. Got up to 90. Let's see when we can find when that 46-mile-an-hour wind gust occurred. It looked like it occurred at around 7:05, but just light rain. They never actually got a thunderstorm. It was just basically a collapsing thunderstorm that caused some of these strong wind gusts that were over Long Island. So let's go look at the high temperatures today, and you'll see, no surprise, a lot of areas got close to 90, upper 80s. The sea breeze really didn't get going until later in the day, and it was still hot even on the South Shore. 87. A little bit better. I mean, it was like 83, I guess, maybe 7 degrees cooler, but 87 in the city, 92 at 87 at Central Park, 92 at LaGuardia, 90 at JFK. Looks like Farmingdale hit 88, 88 at Shirley, 88 at West Hampton. And as we go into Jersey, probably a little bit hotter there. Yeah, 93 in Toms River, so they had low to even mid-90s there. It was pretty hot there. Let's look at rainfall. And we'll take and see how much rain fell today, depending on if you got a storm or not. Looks like that. That's a little suspect, that 1.15 in the Point Lookout. I'm only seeing very little rain. So these storms didn't really put a whole lot of rain down. Not over Long Island. Let's see. Maybe some other areas. Yeah, Central Jersey. Some of these areas got hit. Yep. What is this? Is this Somerset County over here? 1 inch plus. And some of those also went into East Brunswick, too. Keyport 2.09. So the storms are training over Jersey again. So they're winding up getting more rain than we are. And that, of course, that also affected Staten Island a little bit, too, as well. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about the power outage situation. Let's just go to see if New Jersey is yellow. Yeah, there's a lot of outages in New Jersey. Looks like Ocean County has almost 3,000 customers out. Middlesex County, 20,000 customers out. So they must have had a really bad thunderstorm over there with a lot of wind damage. Let's see if we can find Somerset Airport. I'd like to find Somerset Airport if I could. If I can find it. Just need an airport over here. You know, it's easier to do this. Let's just do this. Somerset Airport. So we're over here. I'll click this to get Somerset. Well, it's Morristown. Let's see if that's not going to list everything though. It doesn't show. It just says. I really would like the Somerset Airport. I know it's somewhere around here. You know what? There's got to be a way to just have just airports. Yeah, here we go. Somerset Airport had a wind gust of 45 miles an hour today. So I was kind of curious about. But that area generally got affected pretty badly. Let's go to the JCPL outage map here, and we'll first start with them, and then we'll look at PSE&G as well, because it looks like that area got hit hard. Yeah, Jackson is a pretty large outage there. That's probably the big outage that's in Ocean County, and then we have some outages here, one in Atlantic Highlands, and then as you go into the other side, we have some in Bedminster, but I think PSE&G might have gotten hit harder with these storms. Oh, yeah, they have, PSE&G's pounded. Look at that, 38,000 customers without power right now. Wow, that's a lot of outages, and you can see most of them appear to be in this general area over here. Somerville, Greenbrook Township, this whole area is just covered with outages. Could be transmission damage from some of these storms, perhaps, but there are a lot. And I mean a lot of power outages here. It's even some in Newark. Yeah, there's a lot of outages. So these storms really did cause a lot of damage in Jersey. They were worse, obviously, in Jersey. That area got pounded today. But for the most part, Long Island dodged the worst of it, as usual. So we'll go to our statistics for today. Climate statistics. And you can see the storms are still affecting all of the Jersey Shore. High of 90 and a low of 70 at JFK. Excuse me, Islip. So 8 degrees above normal, and 8 degrees above normal for the day. So it's again well above normal, and it was hot too today. Let me tell you. Let me go to the Wonder Map. Let's see if we get some more rainfall amounts. I'm just curious. Because when I got back, I saw a lot of flooding and big puddles in my area, but that may just be due to poor drainage. Yeah, we didn't really see that much rain. A quarter of an inch, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty much all. It just shows you how bad the drainage is here. That a quarter inch downpour of a quarter of an inch will cause all this flooding. So the whole central Mass area just has terrible drainage. A little more in Smithtown. I see a 0.38 over there. But other than that, not seeing much out east. It looks like they didn't really see that much out there either. So, yeah. Very, very little rain for us. But Jersey, they got a little more. The storms were stronger there. And see, again, those areas that got hit harder. There are inch plus in some of those areas in Somerset and Middlesex County as well. Also being hit very hard, too. So, yeah. So another active day, but we're going to have a nice weekend. Let's get to the models, and we'll just look at the map here, the weather map. And you'll see here, there's our cold front coming through. It'll be to our south tomorrow, and we're going to have a nice day. The only question, of course, is, well, how the smoke is going to be. But let's talk about the weekend here, starting with tomorrow here. A high pressure builds in here. You see here on the European here, which was the model we're going to use. That high pressure is going to be over us. Now, this is an area that will need to be watched over the southeast, possible tropical depression. Let's go to the National Hurricane Center for a moment. Oh, yeah, it has a risk of being the next tropical depression or tropical storm here. So we have high pressure over us. You'll notice that as we get towards Sunday, the flow turns a little more southwesterly, and that will increase the humidity, especially as we get towards Sunday. Looking at our... And I'll just point that out to you here. We'll do the dew points and wind flow with the European first. And you'll see tomorrow the dew points will start dropping. It's a little muggy out there right now, but the dew points will start dropping as we get toward tomorrow, Friday. You'll see here dew points drop into the 50s, maybe even 40s. Northwest winds, maybe slight sea breezes, perhaps developing in the late afternoon, early evening, which might raise the humidity a little bit. But you see, Saturday we start off also with a north wind. If we still have dry air in place, the dew points are pretty low. We do have sea breezes in the afternoon and the evening. And then as we get into Sunday, you'll notice the humidity starts rising. We start seeing that southwesterly flow and perhaps some very humid air from that tropical depression that might make it up our way by Sunday. Let's go and look at our temperatures. We'll do the HRRR too, but I'll first start with the Euro. So tomorrow, temperatures will be, tomorrow is going to be the coolest day. Temperatures will probably be low to mid 80s. And then as we get into Saturday, that's when things start heating up. So you start seeing mid to upper 80s away from the shore. And then Sunday, probably still warmer. Yeah, we'll probably have near 90 inland and maybe low 90s inland. And our area on Long Island will probably be mainly 80s, but it can still hit 90 in Mineola because it's just central and northern parts of the island. I wouldn't be surprised. So let's go to the HRRR and points in wind flow. So drier air comes in. Dew points drop tomorrow. We'll have dew points again. Very comfortable dew points tomorrow, 40s and 50s. And then the wind's kind of to be great for fireworks tomorrow night. Great weather for fireworks if you're going to a fireworks show. And you'll see here as we get into tomorrow night, again, dew points are low. It'll probably be a nice cool night, except, of course, here. And then as we get into Saturday, the dew points still stay low. So you don't see that change until Sunday. So we're going to have 2 days with really comfortable dew points. Temperatures tomorrow, HRRR again. We'll see temperatures generally get low to mid 80s. If you're in Jersey, it could be maybe even some mid to upper 80s because it's always hotter there, especially southern part of the state. And then at night, we'll see our temperatures drop. We'll probably see lows in the 60s, low 60s, and maybe even some 50s in the Pine Barrens if you're not in an urbanized hellhole. And then for Saturday, it'll be a little bit warmer probably. Highs more like mid to upper 80s maybe. But the dew points will still be comfortable, and there'll be sea breezes in the afternoon, keeping things cooler on the South Shore. So let's now go ahead and look at cloud cover. And first start with the RGM here with the cloud cover. You see maybe a few high clouds. Other than that, we're clear most of the day. There won't be too many clouds around. But Saturday, you'll start seeing some cirrus and maybe some scattered jet chunk, but still plenty of sunshine. And Sunday, still the same deal. We should still have plenty of sunshine and maybe a little bit of scattered jet chunk, but nothing terrible. So let's lastly go and look at the smoke models and give the HRRR. And we'll go to the HRRR smoke model and look at the 18Z. I know that's all we've got, but we'll see what this has for us tomorrow. And you see that there does show some smoke overnight, but then during the day, it tends to push to the south, and we should actually be pretty good. We might get into a little more of it on Saturday, but all in all, it doesn't look terrible. Maybe a little bit of haze to the sky tomorrow, but I'm thinking it shouldn't be too bad. And then as far as near-surface smoke, which we'll run just for the heck of it, I don't think there'll be any. Actually, it's showing a little bit. Maybe a little bit early in the morning. But then it kind of pushes to the south later in the day. We'll go back to the satellite, and I'll just show the CONUS view just to give you a better view of where the smoke is coming from before I wrap up this video. You can see where it's coming from. So there it is. There's the cloud of smoke right there. But it looks like hopefully it will push off to the south, but you can sort of see, especially in that last frame right there, you can sort of see that cloud of smoke. And that is, of course, coming from wildfires burning in Canada. So I'll just show you this before we wrap this up. And or maybe it won't load. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it wants to go. Let's try this again. I'll try one more time. All right, I guess the site just decided to stop working. So that's going to wrap things up. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weekend. I'm not going to be doing any weather videos until Sunday night. So maybe I'll do some Pine Barrens videos maybe or something like that. But I won't be back until Sunday. Nothing really. It's just going to be calm weather. Nothing crazy. So get out there and enjoy this nice weather before it starts getting really humid again. So enjoy your holiday weekend. Thanks for watching.